Hey folks, welcome back to Wanduro.com. This is Trent. Today we're going to show you how to get from this to this to this. So we're here at Don's garage and we're about to try to make some studded trail riding tires. So we're having a little strategy session here on how to do this. So what do you say?
I think the hole you drill, make it as small as you can.
Yeah.
Just that it guides the screw through.
Yeah, because really all you want is a place for the screw to find its way through.
That's pretty easy. So this all works. So just for the record, what we use now is an 8.
Or 1/8. So we're drilling 2 holes in every one of the large knobs and 1 hole into the smaller ones. And we're not doing any on the ones that are on the very side of the tire, because if you do that, the tire will tend to want to climb out of ruts and throw you out. What we're using is the 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch flathead Tapcon concrete screws. They're case hardened, which makes them a little harder than the normal metal or wood screws, so they'll last a bit longer when you hit some dirt or rocky terrain. So you need about 250 concrete screws for each tire, or for each set of tires. So we've got 500 here for 2 bikes, and a whole pile of 1/4 nuts. And if we went to Home Depot, these were like 28 bucks or so. But ended up going to a bolt supply warehouse, and they were only 18 or 19 bucks for 100. So if you've got some place that does, bolt supply instead of a big box home improvement store, it's probably a better way to do it. Once you've drilled all the holes, you can start each of the concrete screws from the inside of the tire out. You can use a normal screwdriver, or you can use an electric screwdriver. Once you've set all the screws, you can finish screwing them through the tire with an electric drill, or you could do the whole operation at once with an electric drill. The next step is to put a nut on every screw while holding the screw head with a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. It's easiest to use an air wrench or an electric screwdriver. So the nice thing about using the air gun here is that once the nuts get below the surface of the knob, the socket just pops right off, so you don't have to worry about screwing them in past any point here. Because you're cross-threading the 1/4 nuts onto the concrete screws, they're unlikely to come off. But that also sometimes makes it hard to get them started. So you'll need to give them a good push and twist with a pair of pliers to get them going, after which they'll go on easily. Because the concrete screws flex in the tires, the screw heads will eventually wear through the inner tube. So you'll need something to protect the inner tube from the concrete screw heads. My nephew used Gorilla Tape for his setup, but the Gorilla Tape eventually wore through and the head of the screw punctured his tube. So what we went with was a strip of camping mat made out of closed cell foam. So we cut a strip out that was wide enough to cover the heads of the screws and put it inside the tire. The length of the camping mat wasn't quite long enough to cover the whole inside of the tire, so we just cut another strip to fill the gap that was left over. You could probably use a yoga mat as well. Having the foam in the tire makes them just a little bit harder to mount, but once you got them on, they seem to work just fine. I've run about 10 hours with them so far, with no punctures and no problems. Well, I've got her all set up now for some snow riding on the trails with the spike tires. Rear spike tire ready to go. Front spike tire ready to go. My nephew and his cousin are running the same tire setup, and a couple days later after a snowfall, they joined me for a ride up in the hills. Hey, if you liked the video, just take a moment and hit like or subscribe to the channel. There's lots more to come. I'll see you in the next one.